That's just such a vibe. I could just vibe to that like all night. But I won't because we're going to talk about some AEW right
But I
now.
will.
I am joined on a podcast about wrestling, episode 3, in 16 months.
And we're back!
And we're back.
Taking longer gaps and Kirby enthusiasm.
I figured we would just. I can't even make the joke that we're taking the Brock Lesnar approach because he's been on like all year.
Brock's
Can't
got
even.
a busier schedule than we do right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the character of Brock right now. I think he's just having a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing.
I'm a little troubled by some of the booking. Elimination Chamber. It's not the way I would have booked it. But as far as Brock, yeah, I would say I'm the most interested in Brock himself than I have been in probably since his return in 2012 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's like this Brock, and then I did like when he was like carrying the Money in the Bank briefcase as a big box. That was entertaining,
fun,
but
yeah.
like he just seems face Brock without Paul Heyman is just so much fun. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about AEW. They had their big pay-per-view last night. I was excited for this one. I actually ordered this one and watched it live. First AEW pay-per-view I've done that for.
So, very nice. I've seen them all. This one I actually had a really cool, unique experience. Went to a movie theater to see it. A nice big old screen. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'd recommend that experience as well if it's playing in any of your local theaters.
Yeah, wasn't playing in mine, so I had to shell out the money for it, but it was money well spent.
Yeah, technically, I guess it's a little cheaper. I spent about $20-something. It said UFC event on the ticket.
Huh. I think you got ripped off. Or did
no,
you?
That's how much it is.
Maybe...
You go to Fandango.
Well, I meant because you got the UFC ticket. So.
Oh no, I think that's even on Fandango. That said for some reason once you get to the very end, like UFC event or something.
Huh. Oh, I thought you were making a joke because you're a funny guy.
No, it's what it said on the ticket.
Huh,
that's what they just had like one generic label that said UFC.
Maybe they show UFC events too, and they haven't quite updated.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that. I've always thought seeing a pay-per-view in a big setting like that would be cool. Manias don't do it. Revolution itself, actually, the year was I guess 2020 before everything shut down. I saw it at a bar. So yeah, I've seen Revolution in a couple interesting ways.
Yeah, I mean you can just watch all of the WWE premium live events on the cock anyway.
PLE's live on the cock.
Just real quick, what'd you think about the show? Just your overall thoughts?
No, I went in with pretty high expectations. I mean, this had some good stuff on the card, man. Definitely was interested in Kingston and Jericho. I figured the triple threat tag match, ladder match. Not a huge Jade fan, but like everything else, man, I was very interested in the dog collar. I thought it was fantastically well built. Arguably some of the best promos. Literally, I feel like you can make an argument maybe for even all time. I'll even go as far as that, if not definitely the year or decade, however you want to put it here. And then, yeah, I mean, looking from top to bottom, man, like John Moxley and Danielson. Happy to see Adam Cole in a big profile match. When maybe the second least interested match is a match involving Sting, is a good sign.
Yeah,
that's not a knock on Sting, and we'll get to Sting's spots later. But like, still, like I think they put together a really worthy pay-per-view too. AEW obviously doesn't do it every month. They have those big Dynamite specials, which are kind of like pay-per-views, but they're on Dynamite, so it's kind of interesting. I think they're decent about. All right, let's build to this. Let's make this a worthwhile event to give us $20 to $50, depending on how you're spending your money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. I think top to bottom, there wasn't a match that bored me. I mean, there were moments that I was like, but overall, like it was a great show. There were moments where I literally got up off my couch. I don't know what the reactions were like in the movie theater. I probably would have done the same. I wouldn't have cared. You were there.
Wasn't bad. I ended up meeting some people that I did not know prior. We kind of talked a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you're still able to kind of like pop and whatnot, and have kind of unlike a movie. You didn't have to be totally quiet. I think we all kind of agreed on. So
right, that's cool. So yeah, let's just run it down. We were treated to three buy-in matches. That was
most
cool.
stacked buy-in in a while. I feel like the last several have all only been one matches, sometimes two. We had three, and even this had some stories for once too. It wasn't just kind of like, all right, let's throw out random team one, random team two.
Yeah.
These are even all have had build to them here. I actually Tarantino'd it. When I went to the theater, they didn't have the pre-show on. They did for whatever reason they did finally. I saw the last few minutes of the 6-man tag, but I did go home and rewatched everything or watched for the first time everything. So I saw the first three matches last. But let's go in order. Layla Hirsch defeating Chris Statlander in 9:52. Is it this week we get Layla in a title match? Is that what they're building to?
We get number one contender match, Layla versus Thunder Rosa.
So that's gonna be fun, and I'm gonna be there. I will be there live Wednesday because they're in Fort Myers, where I live. So I'm looking forward to that.
If they ever come to the state of Washington, I will try to be there.
I'm sure they will, man. Daniel Bryan, they got to go to Daniel Bryan's home state.
Oh yeah, and Darby Allin. And yes, Jordan, we still have a show. Every 3 months.
We do. We might have debuted in January. It might be mid-March, but we're on episode 3. Suck it.
Yeah, and in 3 months we will be reviewing WWE Money in the Bank.
We'll get there. But I know there's some cool spots in this. A couple of mixed up spots, but at the same time, Hurricane is the outside. That was kind of cool. And I love Chris Statlander. I could see her being a champ in the future, but I'm all about Layla getting a little bit of a push here, showing her more a badass side here. So decent way to start off the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts exactly. It was a decent opener for the buy-in. I wish WWE would go back to this, kind of like the way they did Sunday Night Heat.
I've always wanted that.
It's just a kickoff show, but I'm not going to compare the two. I'm going to try not to do that. But I like pre-shows that have more matches and not just one match in between promos that we're going to see later on in the show.
Promos that have the time we definitely have seen leading up. And then it's definitely, and then sometimes it's stuff that they're just literally going to put on the pay-per-view anyway. No, for sure. Even when I do that, sometimes I'll try to tune in late so I can, because you almost know for sure that first half an hour you can really just about skip on the WWE kickoff.
Yeah. But we're not comparing the two.
I am. This is better. This was better. This was maybe the best kickoff I feel as far as entertainment-wise, quality-wise, and the most matches I think we've had maybe since the beginning. I'm trying to think. At the beginning we might have had 3 matches, but it's the most action we've seen I think in a while.
Yeah, and we had an interview with more of a promo from Don Callis, and everyone thought Kenny Omega was coming back.
Nice tease there. Don Callis was definitely kind of assures us that Omega. Maybe not this week, but although maybe this week for me would be nice. But it's probably on his way back. I'll talk more about Omega in that triple threat tag match because I do have predictions for Omega.
Yeah, I felt like this was really like the start, but maybe planting seeds for something.
It's that first good hint of, and that's what I like about AEW. I mean, even again, we'll get to it more later, but like the Wardlow stuff, like sometimes they really do think nicely ahead. So that's why I don't necessarily think Omega will be here tomorrow or Wednesday, but it's that first seed planting of, don't forget, he'll be back here soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure the guy hasn't taken a break since AEW debuted, so it's well deserved.
No, for sure. And he was running hard for a while there. To forget, he was running not only between AEW, he was doing that Impact stuff. He was still doing stuff for AAA. So, no, and the roster's so stacked. Not that I didn't miss Omega. It was stacked to where I feel like sometimes people like that can take a break. You know what I mean? And that was a problem we used to hear in the WWE. Again, not comparing. But you would hear now they're a little bit better. But back in the day, you would hear that they would run you pretty ragged because they wanted you there all day, every day, every week rather. You know what I mean? No matter what. Yeah. Now I feel like sometimes they will give Randy Orton some time off. They will give so and so some time off. You know what I mean? And in wrestling, you need that. There's no off season, but sometimes guys need a moment to be with family, heal their bodies. There might not have been a major injury. but let's not wait until there is a major injury. You know what I mean? Let them heal a little bit. And you have so many talented guys and girls to where you can get away with it. You know what I mean? You can go a few months without Omega. If you had to, you can go a few months without Jericho or Bryan Danielson if need be. You know what I mean? So.
Well, they do go a few weeks without Jericho actually competing, but at this stage in his career, I mean, does he really need to compete every week?
No, and something like that too. They're pretty good about mixing up some people on the commentary too. Which, by the way, Tony, if you're watching, I've had a lot of experience in commentary. So if you need someone for dark, if Taz's not feeling so good, if Big Show can't do elevation, just.
If JR doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you can call me Jo. Put me in there. I'll say by God. No one will know the difference.
Yeah, I mean that might be I don't think it's as much of a hot take anymore, but I'm kind of over JR as a commentator.
I'm trying to walk the nice fence here because mad respect to JR, absolute legend, absolutely. I think in the conversation for the best, if not easily, unarguably top 5 to 10 best. But yeah, I definitely think I'm. I don't know. Maybe 2022.
Yeah.
20. Yeah. I don't know. There's been enough things that have added up, and then sometimes he can't really hold back certain opinions and whatnot. So yeah, I'm not exactly over the moon.
Right. Like if it was just Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and Taz, I think. Plus, I'm not really a big fan of like the 4 when it's all 4 of them. I feel like that's too much.
There's a lot. Yeah, they're big on always needing 3, if not 4 people. So yeah, I don't know if 4 is definitely. I definitely agree. 4 is too many. As somebody that has done it a lot, I even have trouble with 3 because it's a weird game of like you're obviously trying not to step on people, but you're trying to get at least some of your shit in, and like you know what I mean, and like especially if you have a color guy and more of a play-by-play guy, exactly where do you even fit in? Like there's even times where like. Think about it. Like Tony Schiavone barely says anything because there's just everyone else is going over him. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Great. I'm glad he gets.
I'm a 2 guy booth.
Yeah, I'm glad Tony gets to do most of the interviews.
Yeah, and then they're good about mixing that up too. Yeah, they throw him out there for the interviews as well, so he gets enough screen time.
Gets to announce the new signings.
Yes, and when did that? Well, we'll get to that too.
Yeah, somewhere between that match and this match. Not the next match, which was Hook and QT Marshall. I didn't even. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I didn't even know this match was happening on the buy-in.
They mentioned it. They definitely mentioned it. I definitely knew it was happening. Yeah, Hook defeating QT Marshall in 5 minutes even. Yeah, it was the match that I think everyone expected here. Probably the longest match maybe we've seen of Hook. Yeah, the dude's over. The dude's young. The dude's good looking too, man. You can tell he has a fan base. People that are just kind of like, ooh, who's this kid? He's got swagger. And yeah, like I said, most importantly, at the end of the day, the dude's super over. So they're again another nice slow build. This dude was on TV for about a year before he even had a match, and kind of mysterious. You know what I mean? I think my friend Dutch was showing me his Twitter is pretty popular, even though he never tweets. Like he's already got like a bunch of followers, but like that's just because people want to follow him, even though he doesn't tweet. So yeah, the match I expected it to be. Yeah, Hook. He's got a bright future.
I like that QT Marshall got a little bit of offense in. I thought that was definitely needed.
The longest match, the more offense anyone's ever gotten so far against Hook, yes.
Yeah, I might be in the minority in this, but I don't like that Hook just got out of the ring like normal. Like he just kind of got up afterwards, and like you took a little bit of punishment. Like at least show it a little bit. Don't just get out of the ring and walk away like normal. But then again, maybe that'll play into like he was just in this match where he did take a little bit of punishment and he's still like unfazed. So maybe they're going that route.
No, I think it's actually the first of what you said. I think it's just him trying to seem still badass and not necessarily thinking of the overall lasting effects of the match, which you find sadly a lot recently. Someone will get their leg worked on and then as soon as the bell rings, they're like, "Yay!" and they're hopping and doing fine. So
it was always my it's my number one criticism of John Cena. Anytime he loses a match clean in the middle of the ring after taking the finisher, he like as soon as 3 and the bell is rung, he rolls out of the ring. Like, well, now you can roll out of the ring, but you couldn't, lift a shoulder up 2 seconds ago.
That's almost the classic too. Hogan was big on when he did lose, like kicking out after 3, just for that little extra of like, I was close, like just to give, fan his ego a little bit.
Yeah, like, come on, Warrior Splash did more damage to you than that. Let's be honest. But yeah, no, Hook. I think he's got a bright future. I don't know. Maybe a TNT title could be in his future. Not like his immediate future, but
yeah, I was gonna say I think that's jumping ahead. But as far as potential, yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not, man. Yeah.
Who do you think could be that first guy to go against Hook where you're like, oh, maybe this is the one that finally gets him?
I mean, there's plenty. I mean, we're gonna get to the point where he, like you said, we've gone from the match is a minute and a half or whatever to now we had a 5-minute match where the other guy got a little bit in. So yeah, once he starts facing the Malachi Blacks or even maybe an Isaiah Cassidy, I think we're gonna slowly get to the point to where obviously the matches need to go longer and whatnot. So it really just depends on who they have in mind. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anyone like kind of right in that middle level. Like I said, I bet you the next step would be, a 7-8 minute match or whatnot. So I think we'll get in there.
Yeah, it's been because I don't always watch Rampage because it's on at like 10 o'clock, and sometimes I'm asleep by then. But so I'll watch on YouTube the next day, and like they'll have clips of Hook, but it's his full match, and it's like a 4-minute.
Yeah, you can't really clip his match too much.
It's a 4-minute YouTube video, and it's his entire match with his entrance. So.
Yeah, he's been one of those guys. I don't know if it's. I would imagine it's by design, but yeah, like you said, he is very almost Rampage heavy, or maybe even Rampage exclusive. I'm trying to think if he's been on Dynamite. It's hard. I get them mixed up, obviously, in my mind sometimes, but yeah, he's definitely been on Rampage more than Dynamite.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully this is done. I'd like to see him move on to those 7-8 minute matches. So
yeah, we're good now. Like I said, this is really the first step of like, all right, this guy was, harder to get through than an Aaron Solo or a Fuego. So now, we'll see.
And then we had the match that I think should have kicked off the pay-per-view. I think this could have been the opener, and this would have fired the crowd up nicely. Was the 6-man tag. I get why it was on the buy-in because that would have made the actual show very long. It was already 4 hours as it was, but
yes, we got Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King defeating Pac, Pentagon, and Eric Redbeard in 17-22. The debut
good length for a buy-in match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why this felt like the most. This wasn't okay. Most kickoffs and even most buy-offs. I'll say that they're on the same playing field recently. Have felt like okay. Here's a match. 6 to 10. You know what I mean? Get you kind of your juices warming just to do something. This felt like the first time where this feels almost like the next hour. This feels like Ring of Honor actually is probably a good example. If to be honest, like when they do like their final battles and whatnot, they'll have like a 1 hour YouTube free, to get you enticed. And it's not throwaway matches. There's even title matches and sometimes title changes. This felt like almost just a 5th hour. You know what I mean? Like this didn't feel necessarily like, here's so and so and so and so.
Yeah.
Like right. This felt like the most storied and like you said, this could have been on the show. This could have been a Dynamite main event. This could have been a Rampage opener. This could have been whatever. Good stuff here. It's the technical debuts actually, wrestling wise, of both Buddy and Eric. First time we're seeing them in an AEW ring. I love Buddy Matthews. I was happy to see him getting signed, doing good stuff in New Japan, strong and on the indies. So I'm cool with him being here. Obviously, a bit of a backstory with him and Malachi. Go back to WWE. Right. Brody King getting in better and better shape too, man. He's more defined than he's ever been. And cool seeing Redbeard too. I thought Redbeard actually looked pretty decent in this match as well. I don't know if this is AEW, unlike WWE, is very cool with doing kind of one-offs. You know what I mean? Whether it's Matt Cardona or a New Japan guy or whatever. So I don't know. This is it for Redbeard. Maybe later, maybe now. I don't know. If there's even room for him. You know what I mean? I think we got kind of guys of that stature. We're still waiting for Brian Cage's return. You know what I mean? Archer's kind of back to just beating up randos on Dark. Right? We're back to Archer not having anything. Mira's been gone, so I don't know if there's a spot for him per se. But he looked good here. I wouldn't mind if maybe like Impact or even AEW themselves picked up more on Redbeard's best. Good seeing him get his most high profile match since his WWE departure. Real quick with you too, I want to ask. I don't see how I could see. Yeah, is this worthy enough of being on the main show? Sure, but I don't think you could really take anything off of the main show to add this. And I think this is a good example of maybe going forward that like a big match like this could be on a buy-in.
Yeah, I mean, I might be okay with them replacing the TBS title match. I feel like that would.
I would be totally cool with it, but I'm not surprised that they just wouldn't want to kick off a women's match. You know what I mean? I could see that being more of a, you know what I mean, like an issue than as far as quality. And also, if you go by time wise, this did take up more time, so there might be a reason to go. Okay, let's have the slightly shorter match on there, because again, this would have added another almost 15 minutes.
And the show, like we already said, the show was 4 hours as is. So.
And it was a long show. I know my buddy Dutch felt it because he had work the next day. He's like, I don't know if I can make it to the main event. And I was like, you're not moving. Say.
Yeah, but it was a 4-hour show, but it didn't feel like a 4-hour show. So
no, everything was good, and luckily that Orlando crowd, which did make me feel bad because I know we had looked at tickets at one point. I was like, oh, fuck, I should have just done it. They did pretty good the entire night too. Some dips here and there, but for the most part, they were pretty much on the entire night, which I think just shows the quality of action. Because to a degree, how could you not be? With what was put in front of you, even when it is long, you got quality stuff in front of you.
Yeah, it was a stacked card where, like, how many was it? Was it 8 matches? Like 6 of the 8 matches. I think it was 8.
9 matches.
9 matches. So yeah. So like 6 out of the 9 matches could have been in that main event spot easily. Just because AEW has been doing such a great job of building. Like you just put the names Adam Cole versus Adam Page, and then you put Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley, and which match are people going to be more excited for?
Yeah. No, I mean,
it goes either way.
Punk MJF, I even said to myself, I'm not certain the world title match will end the show. I thought maybe the dog collar could have if they wanted to keep the bloody for the end. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure.
Well, it wasn't the only bloody match of the night, which was.
It wasn't. I know.
Surprising. Not surprising.
Good job on the staff. I think they kept having to replace that canvas.
Yeah. No. So we kicked off with a Jericho in Kingston, and I thought we were off to a kind of a bad start from that opening suplex. I was like, either Jericho sold it really well, or he did hurt his neck and then kind of recovered a little bit. But that opening suplex, like when he rolled out of the ring and the referee was, Aubrey was, stopping Kingston from getting to him. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just a good sell job because they had me.
I might have been at least hopeful, and until I see a reason to not believe it was a sell job, I guess I just went with it because I love this from the get go. Nice big strong start to it with that suplex, the half and half. I love this. This was a lot of fun. Eddie Kingston defeating Chris Jericho in 14-20. Good build up. It was a hard match to predict too because I kind of predicted that like that's not the end of their feud. Because we did get to the end and there was no handshake, so I'm guessing they're going to continue with these two. I even thought there was a good chance Jericho might win to continue this feud, but Kingston does get his first big W. Definitely as far as wins, his biggest win of his career, I would have to say pretty easily, I would imagine. Because this is the biggest companies that he's ever worked for. Yeah. And man, I'm just in general, I've always so enjoyed to see Eddie Kingston on a main platform. It was a name that man, if there was just WWE, we would have never seen it. You know what I mean?
Right.
To be put frank. But you know, they're cool with using the dude's just this was an interesting feud too. It was almost like realism versus kayfabe. You know what I mean? Him using the heels and baby faces. I don't know what a baby face is, but I'm coming to get you. And just interesting promos between these two. A unique matchup. Again, a match I would have never guessed we'd see. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you had told me 5 years ago, oh no, Eddie Kingston's gonna be on a national pay-per-view fighting Chris Jericho, I'd say you're crazy. I'd say I'm interested, but I'd say you're crazy.
Right.
So yeah, I thought it was a good opening too. I'm always a fan of a good 1v1 opener, and this survives. And Jericho's also seems like he's getting in he's in better shape than what he was like a year ago.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Jericho looks to be in great shape, and yeah, no, once they got back in the ring and the match really started going, like I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great opener. Jericho not shaking his hand, like it sets it up for future matches, which I hope if they do a rematch, Jericho needs to win. Otherwise, it becomes, you know, Jericho gets put in these high profile feuds, and okay, well, who's he putting over this time? And it doesn't. Really
you got it.
Much.
Well, yeah, you kind of got to, and that's a good point too. Like you did put over Cassidy in the end and whatnot, so you do got to watch, but yeah, I mean, if they continue the feud, I feel like you definitely gotta, so that way it evens it back up.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Jericho was gonna win. I didn't have Kingston winning. I was like, all right, well, Jericho's gonna win, and it's gonna be that. Yeah, no, Kingston can't win the big one, and they keep building that, and then he wins the next one. Oh, and he can win the big one. Suck it, Jericho. But no, they're definitely continuing it from the non-handshake. Which are we going to see a heel Chris Jericho come back?
Or we're getting there. We're getting there.
Or is he just going to be? Is he just going to be Chris Jericho?
No, I think we're getting there and already. This furthers that envelope of not doing the handshake is heel. You know what I mean? Shaking your hand and going, "All right, man, you got the best of me tonight." You know, that's commendable and a face move. Him not shaking the hand is already another sign. And even the last couple weeks, I felt like each time Jericho spoke, it was a little more heely. It was a little more, you know what I mean, putting down Kingston than it was the week before. So yeah, we're definitely getting back to heel Jericho, which is kind of the best Jericho. You know, he's great on either way. That's what a true wrestler is. He can make you love him and hate him. But man, he's fun to hate. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I think his 2008 run is still my favorite. When he returned and kind of reinvented himself. So, which he's been great at doing. He's been great at reinventing himself. And
he's a very very smart man when it comes to reinvention and making you see another level of him than you did like a year or two before. You know what I mean? And keeping you on your toes. That's what you got to do. You know, if you can't, even if you're really good, I don't think you can rest by you're the same shtick for too long. And he's very good about that.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this feud to continue, and I'm excited to see where the tag titles go after the Jurassic Express retained against Red Dragon and the Young Bucks. A very solid match coming in at just under 19 minutes.
18:55.
Yeah. So, well, what do you think about this match?
Yeah, man. Again, it's great seeing Red Dragon. You know, I don't know if O'Reilly was busy or whatnot. I felt like he disappeared after his debut. But great seeing 3 great tag teams here and a really fun match. Like a lot of Bucks matches, it was really good. About like my prediction was Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, but the match did the right thing in like making me go, oh no, shit, okay, the Bucks gonna have it for a second. Oh no, shit, maybe they'll pop in on Red Dragon real quick. They never had the tag titles there. Oh shit, no, it's gonna be Lucha. No, but it is gonna be. But real great false finishes here. Lots of great stuff between the 3 teams. Pretty as I say, seamless, or I don't remember it too much like botchiness going on, and you got 6 different human beings in there. Luchasaurus looked pretty good as well. Sometimes he's one of the more clumsier people in the match, but I thought everything he hit seemed pretty good tonight. Yeah, I mean, my prediction going back to kind of Kenny Omega, and that's the reason why I figured Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus might win, is that we're continuing the whole, okay, Young Bucks and Red Dragon are not on the same page here. And my prediction has always been Adam Cole turns on the Bucks, and that's going to be a big 6-man tag. is Cole and Red Dragon versus Omega and Jackson's in the Elite. I think that's going to be that could very much be your next whatever the next pay-per-view is, All In or Double or Nothing rather.
Yeah, or even one of their super shows that they do for a Dynamite.
Maybe. Well, I'm just saying if you want to wait long enough, that could definitely be Omega's first match. Is that big 6-man tag and whatnot.
Yeah, but if you want that match to be like the highlight and like that to be the match, you could do it on one of those shows. Otherwise, you're gonna overshadow something. Like if you're gonna have a title match and that match on the same card, like.
Well, that's what this card is.
That's true.
I mean, I definitely see what you're saying. Yeah, you really could definitely use that logic. But like, that's like saying like, oh, well, don't do the dog collar match yet. Save that because we got Paige and Cole. Like, you want to make those pay-per-views stacked, especially if you're continuing until the day they have a streaming service, which has been rumored, HBO Max, or now that they have Ring of Honor, what are they going to do with Ring of Honor? I would love for them to like do their own kind of high spots or WWE Network like thing, like open up their own thing. You know what I mean? Team up with Ring of Honor, maybe a couple other places. Ask me. I would even do like $15-$20 a month if you gave me enough content. But
the pay-per-views are worth it alone.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But that's the only hesitance. It's like, damn, man, $50. It was the normal back in the day, but now I think we're so accustomed to like, what do you mean? I give you $10 and you give me everything.
I get Peacock free with my cable service.
Yeah, yeah. Most people don't even. Yeah, I don't pay for Peacock either because of Xfinity. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's definitely the route they're going, and that's going to be a fire match when it does happen. I'm interested to see who challenges Jurassic Express next. I don't know. I mean, it might not happen anytime soon, but I would love to see Jurassic Express against the House of Black.
Yeah, you could definitely go there, man, because you think about the tag team landscape, and they got a lot of great tag teams. Who would be that next big tag team? I feel like we've seen FTR already get a shot, so like, who's left? And yeah, it really could definitely be almost any version too. I don't know if Buddy's gonna be more of a singles guy, and the tag's gonna be more about Brody and Malachi, but we'll see. But yeah, that'd be a good match, a good team.
I mean, tell me. I mean, unless Wardlow, which we'll get to soon. Spoilers for the next match.
Goes by himself.
Unless Wardlow wins the TNT Championship, who wouldn't want to see Sammy Guevara against Buddy Matthews?
Yeah. There's so many guys, man. I mean, Guevara versus Swerve, which we'll get to. Come on, like.
Whoa.
But at the same time, man, like that TNT title, there's so many good people that could take that thing. Like, I wouldn't hate it if Scorpio got it on Wednesday, because Scorpio's another talented dude, and there's so many good matches for Scorpio. I wouldn't have hated it if Ethan Page got it. There are so many people that I think could run with that title. And not that I'm even done with Guevara. I think Guevara could definitely go on to have it a while longer, for sure as well.
Yeah. I'm just. Since it is the next match, we'll just go into that. Wardlow did win the Face of the Revolution ladder match. I like that they do that every year, and it's never like it's never the same guys. It's like WWE did with their Money in the Bank at WrestleMania. Not to compare the two, but
if we have a subtitle for this episode, it should just be not comparing the two, but
right. But you had your Shelton Benjamin and your Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy or whatever in the ladder match at WrestleMania. I'm looking back at it now, and the Face of the Revolution ladder match from last year, there was no guy from the match last year in this match. So
that's good then too. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, like Money in the Bank has its normal kind of people. That's nice when you spread the love and you go with a completely different match than you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
You got Wardlow defeating Christian Cage, Ricky Starks, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, and Powerhouse Will Hobbs in 17-22.
Yeah. I kind of wish they had a little more time, to be honest. I mean, I think we had our spots, but if you're gonna have 6 guys that talented, And we didn't really have much interaction between Hobbs and Starks. I would have liked a little bit more other than that handshake and then racing up the ladder. Would have been
that was
nice
funny.
to have that. Would have been kind of nice to have that moment like, oh, are these two going to go at it? But I guess it's also nice because, most companies do that where you have two people from the same team or faction in a match and, are they going to go at it? Oh, yeah, they are going at it. Every man for himself. And these two are just kind of like, all right, first man up the ladder gets the ring. So, I'm talking myself out of it now. I liked it.
I didn't have to say a word.
I'm talking myself. I like that spot. Okay.
No, I enjoyed that spot. I enjoyed some of the stuff with Orange Cassidy, him doing the pull up into just standing on it.
Yeah, that was great.
And then getting crotched though.
Orange Cassidy could go his entire career without winning big matches or any titles. As long as he pulls off spots like that and is just entertaining, I will enjoy it.
I will say I agree with you. I think he is the kind of guy that doesn't really need a title. But why I would want him to win a title just once for a little bit, as I know on the indies, because he's Orange Cassidy, he's lazy, so he would carry the title in a backpack to the ring. Because it's heavy, so he had a one strap backpack, and that would be where the title is. So
I'm
I
sure
do
you
want
wouldn't
to see
just drag it behind him.
Yeah.
just
You don't
got it down by his side.
You don't want to disrespect the title. Just a backpack makes it easier. And then my other favorite Orange Cassidy thing too is that I saw in the indies. The guy got Orange Cassidy defeats him in 30 seconds, and so the heel's like, "No, rematch right now." And Cassidy's walking away. He doesn't care. And he goes, "You know what? Those Fast and Furious movies suck." And then Orange Cassidy got all pissed. That's what gets his goat is don't ever diss the Fast and Furious franchise.
You know what? Strawberry milk is the worst.
You've never seen him so pissed.
Listen here.
But yeah, a good ladder match. I like that they booked this too with not a lot of not that it's bad, but this was a big boy ladder match. This was Wardlow, Keith Lee, Will Hobbs. Those are some big boys in there. So it wasn't nothing but high flyers or anything.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Not a lot of ladder spots either.
No, just kind of it was a good amount of just stoppage and building up the spots here and there.
Yeah. I might be inclined to have a Wardlow Powerhouse Hobbs tag team at some point in the future. When they were working together, those are probably my favorite parts of the match.
I love Ricky Starks, and I love a team that has best of both worlds. If you wanted to go Taz heavy, and I could go Starks and Hobbs is more of a permanent tag team as well.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that. And also, too, shout out, and Tony Khan did say it on the scrum afterwards, to Ricky Starks, nasty power bomb that looked like he could have clipped his neck bad. And if you watched Roads to the Top or whatever, he's had neck problems already. That explains why he's not a guy that wrestles every week, I think, sometimes. And for a while there, didn't wrestle for a couple months because there was scares of could he wrestle again. So nasty bump, but Tony Khan did say he's fine. I would imagine he might not be wrestling on my show Wednesday, maybe. But
probably.
Yeah, that was the only downfall of tonight. I walked out going, do you think Punk or MJF or or Starks, they're all just gonna be needing rest, man? No one's showing up to Wednesday.
Well, they tape Rampage after Dynamite, right?
Yes, they do.
So you'll see him at the commentary table.
They flip flop sometimes, but they are doing both on Wednesday. Yes.
So you'll see him at the commentary table.
Okay, yeah, I'll see him at commentary.
You won't hear him, but you'll see him.
But yeah, I mean, but still, yeah, I thought it was a fun ladder match. Nothing to complain about. I guess it's not too surprising. I did not predict Wardlow. I think it was hard to say kind of necessarily who would win. I predicted pretty much anyone but Christian. Just based on I felt like the face of the Revolution is not going to be a guy that's been around forever. As much as I like Christian, I just didn't picture him winning this kind of match. But yeah, I mean, pretty cool seeing Wardlow get that win. He's somebody that Again, didn't really even wrestle that much his first like year because he was always just a bodyguard and those multi-mans. And you can tell like in the last couple of months they've been pretty Wardlow heavy.
Yeah, which I'm very confused on his like role because MJF said you don't work for AEW, you work for me. I was like, all right, well then why is he having matches? Why is somebody not in the company having matches?
It's 100% up for debate, not even debating, but yeah, like you said, like it really doesn't check out that logic because it's not like he's just a bodyguard to where it's like, hey, this is my personal bodyguard. Exactly. Why is he getting booked in matches? Why did he get booked in a qualifier and then now a ladder match? If he's not paying the bill, then why would they book him? And is that even legal? Like, yeah. No, it's just one of those things you kind of gotta storyline purposes get over. You do wonder. I mean, we'll get more to it, I guess, in the dog collar match. But where does that even land now? Like, if he betrayed MJF, we're gonna find out on Wednesday that, like, by the way, I signed a contract. I'm not yours anymore. Like, I don't know why I just made him all country, but what's the storyline there? Why now? Did he just finally get fed up? Did Tony Khan sign him now for the first time?
Yeah. Or MJF fires him, and then he's like, "Well, I've got this, and this guarantees me a title shot, and whatever." He wins the title, and like, "Oh, you got to sign me now. I have your belt."
Well, that's a heel move. I don't feel like at the moment he's facing it up.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway, I like where Wardlow is going. I actually did predict him to win. I think he seemed like the obvious choice in my opinion, other than maybe Keith Lee. I think Keith Lee could have been.
He was probably my second at least, just because oh no, probably Orange Cassidy, but yeah, I don't know. I was stuck between like I went with Hobbs, and then I thought maybe Wardlow second because I kind of felt like Keith Lee too soon, and really,
yeah,
he could work his way into a title match in the next 2 weeks anyway. Although it does also too, if you want to go by logic, why does Jay Lethal and Bobby Fish get automatic title shots, but these guys had to fight through qualifiers and ladders?
Right. And why is Scorpio? Why is Scorpio Sky getting? Oh, because he's been undefeated for a year.
On Dark, he's wrestled on Dynamite twice.
Yeah, well, I do like that they're still keeping that going. That like records actually mean something.
Yeah. I think that's the main reason Dark and Elevation exists, is to pad those records, though. You know what I mean? Because every once in a while, like they'll be like, Butcher and Blade haven't lost in the last 20 matches. I'm like, Butcher and Blade, I haven't seen them since October. And then you look up the records, you're like, oh, it's because they've just been destroying dudes on Dark. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when it happens, but you want to talk about Swerve?
Yeah, we can talk about it here. I think it happened. Yeah, it either happened here or after this match, but maybe it might have happened between the AEW women's title match but yeah, we can talk about it here.
I was just saying, it really doesn't matter. Let's get it out of the way. Yes, pretty much reported already. I think a lot of people had known. I know I had known, or at least it's been like 90% proved that Swerve, Isaiah Scott from NXT, Shane Strickland, looks like it's going to be officially Swerve Strickland, I think is what they're going to go with. He is signed officially, popped out, looking so much swag, looking awesome. Very, very simple, came out. Like you said, he had that confidence about him. Very simple kind of promo here. I could be talking about, all the dream matches I have, yada, yada. But, and then finally at the end, even before he said it, which is pretty cool, because I'm sure that was a good moment for him too, of like, oh shit, they know. He didn't even get to say whose house is it before people were chanting Swerve's house. So I'm happy for him, man. He's somebody that I've seen grow on the indies from kind of, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but kind of like a generic, like good, but like, doesn't stand out from the pack, to really kind of finding just more of his confidence, his swagger, a little bit more of a character. A great example of another time. Not that we're comparing the two. Take a shot. But like another great example of like what the fuck WWE, like that NXT run, great unique group. He had the North American title and then just got nothing on SmackDown. They literally had one match. One match. They were Kazarnied, people. They were Kazarnied. By the way, shout out to Kazarni. I love him. Great
Come on,
guy.
Vince.
It's just kind of nuts, man. They don't,
Yeah.
But hey, man, listen. At the end of the day, we've already said like what a banger him and Guevara will be. What a banger him and Sky could be. What a banger him. Just go down the list, man. Like you said, I want to see him and Jay Lethal have a match. So I'm happy for him, man. He fits the mold of a great competitor. I don't know if we'll ever see more of Hit Row. I know they're all still involved in some way. They're going to be at For the Culture Mania weekend. They're booked for that show under Hitmakers with a Z, I want to say. So they're still around. But yeah, so I'm excited for Swerve. What do you think about Swerve?
Yeah, no, I enjoyed his NXT run, and his one match on SmackDown, I guess. No, I think he's a good talent. I really only know him from NXT. I'm not an indie guy. I'm a very much a mainstream wrestling fan. So
Jacob, who did Swerve face on the main event of the first rebooted MLW show? I hope you're joking. I asked you this like 20 minutes ago. Or an hour and a half ago. I get to this point.
I honestly forgot who.
Dude,
I don't really remember
current
my answer.
WWE star. Your answers were both wrong.
Ricochet.
Thank you. All right. If anyone that's wondering what the hell just happened, he played in my wrestling trivia league an hour ago and forgot twice what the answer was.
Well, that's why I lost. Or did I? Go watch the match.
Go find out over at Pierce Wrestling Channel. Jacob versus Chris Katz. It's up now.
Yeah.
The thumbnail. I guess I gotta start changing the thumbnail. The thumbnail is Lindsay Dorado licking himself.
No, don't change it. Anyway, Tony kind of gave away the who was being signed. I don't know if you paid attention, but I paid attention.
Maybe not. Who?
He had the contract, and I'm.
Dude, 100%. Waved it like
and
7 times,
and he's holding it like this, and
yeah,
you just see Swerve at the bottom, and I'm like, oh, it's that guy. Okay, cool.
I even had time to like look at my friend and go, look, like I hope this isn't a surprise because like Tony like 12 times was like, we've got a great signing. I wonder who it is, and just kept flipping it. Come on, dude. That's my favorite American Idol moment. If you can YouTube it, go to like where Clay Aiken loses. Ryan, whatever his face is.
Ryan Seacrest.
Seacrest, thank you. That was bothering me. Ryan Seacrest like held the thing too far out, so Clay Aiken clearly saw he was losing. So you could see Clay Aiken like clapping before it's even done. Like, all right, good for him because he just knows he's losing.
Yeah,
a little bit of come on, Tony.
Yeah, no, good moment. I'm happy for him. There's going to be a lot of dream matches. Him and like you said, Guevara, him and maybe Ricky Starks, him and number of people. You mentioned Jay Lethal. Yeah. You mentioned Jay Lethal. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they could tag together at some point.
I'm not against it. Lethal's a great tag team guy. Just a great guy in general. Also, a good friend of mine. And so
is he after you fired him?
Yes, I did fire him from Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling, which you can find that footage on Fight TV.
It's hard to believe that Jay Lethal is still only 36 years old. Like it feels like he's been around so long.
Well, that's because he started Jersey All Pro when he was. That didn't grab the way I thought it was.
See your chin.
Yeah, that's my chin and Jay Lethal's sweaty upper body. It was supposed to crop differently. But Jay Lethal was one of those guys, like, you've been hearing about him because he's debuted in Ring of Honor about only a year or two in, and then just kept growing. So, yeah, he's been around since 2002, and then in Ring of Honor, like 2003, 2004, winning titles in, like, 05, 06. So, yeah. But, yeah, like you said, it's been, like you said, if you start that early, it shows you, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, because they need to do something with Jay Lethal. You can't just sign him and then let him stay backstage. Like, I'm sure he's great backstage for all the young guys, but he can be great on camera in the ring, giving 4.5-star matches every week.
Yeah,
you don't want to give 5-star matches every week because then people just expect too much.
Damn people.
People suck. But yeah, Swerve, I'm ready for him to get in a TNT title match in 3 weeks. Because that's apparently what they do with new signings.
Yeah, and you sign and go fight for the TNT title. Well, speaking of TNT, let's talk about TBS. The TBS women's title, that bitch show title. She said it, not me. Jade Cargill defeated Tay Conti. Shortest match of the night, as far as main show. Don't count that Hook pre-show. 6:55. I was pulling for Tay. Mostly, actually, I do think Tay definitely has the potential to be a future women's champ. I think her, Chris Statlander, Thunder Rosa are all on the short list of, like, if they got it now or someday, I'd be cool with it. Ruby Soho too, actually. And also, I'm just not a big Jade fan. This might have actually been, in my opinion, maybe her best match. I thought it was the least messy. You know what I mean? And yeah. Thought, like, sometimes you can see her planning stuff out, and it doesn't always congru. I thought these two, from the moment, actually thought had a pretty well planned out match. Started off pretty nicely here, and was the right amount.
Started off with a kiss.
It started off with a kiss. How could it end up like this? It was only a kiss. Sorry.
No, I'm glad you picked up what I what I put up.
I picked it up, man. Yes, Killers, one of the few bands I would see live if I could. But yeah, but even like the opening sequence after that, although it was pretty well done, and the right length too. You know what I mean? Jade, I feel like is someone too, kind of organically building up her match lengths as well, from a minute, 3 minutes, and we're still kind of in the early stages of her. That's my only thing. I think she does have a great look and has potential. I just don't feel. I feel like you've got just so many people that are kind of that next level already, to where I kind of I don't know if I would have put the title on her first. I was pulling for Soho, get her first major title, or Conti. I think would have made sense too, because she's kind of. I know she's in NXT for a little bit, but she never made it to the main roster, so you could argue she's an AEW original as well, or Statlander. So, but I mean, it was fine. I figured. I mean, I went with Conti mostly based on my heart, but like it does make sense logically to Cargill have it a little bit longer here, and I do enjoy Smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their champions, their inaugural champions, like almost all of them reached at least 80 days. She's currently at 61, so it's kind of like she's not gonna lose it yet. You're gonna let your first champion have
for sure
a lengthy run. I mean, unless it's the 24/7 title. And then
who was the first 24/7 champion?
Titus O'Neil.
That is correct. 1 point.
Titus World Slide. But yeah, no, this I hate to say it because I love Ty Conti and I think she is great and she needs to break up with Sammy Guevara as soon as possible. But I think she is great but this was that match.
As long as Sammy doesn't introduce a new female character on his vlog, she'll be okay. Oh, inside shit talk.
But anyway,
I do need to take Conti action figure, so if you find one and want to ship it to me, let me know. I
will not, because I'll probably keep it. But no, this was
two of them. Can you ship me the second one?
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah. This was perfectly placed between the ladder match and the next match. It was kind of that nice breather that you needed from what was a very good opening 3 matches, and then the rest of the card after this. With the exception of even the rest of the match, like the rest of the card after this had like.
There is a good argument to be made, and you kind of just said it, that sometimes you for instance, I know a couple years back that they had that Dustin Rhodes and Shawn Spears match, and people were like, "Oh, that was kind of a gimmicky, more comedy, like 6-minute match that didn't totally fit." But sometimes you do need a kind of match that's not necessarily trying to be a 15, 20-minute barn burner to kind of bring you down so that we can get back up. Because if you're trying to have nothing but barn burners, it can burn you out. So there is logic of like, okay, after we just had a great ladder match and we're about to have a dog collar match, let's have a more simpler 7-minute, hot start ending heel fat match. There is logic to that.
Yeah. I mean, especially when the 4 matches before that were all, you know, well, I mean, Eddie Kingston and Chris Jericho was close to 15. When every match was a decent length, even including the 6-man from the buy-in.
Yeah, you started off with a 7. What does it say? 17-minute match. You go into 14, 18, and another 17. Yeah. So
yeah, it was. I call them the bathroom break matches, even though sometimes the bathroom break matches are still good, and you don't want to miss them.
I will admit my bathroom break was the other women's title match, only because I wanted to pee during the dog collar, but I couldn't. So by the
Yeah,
time the
no,
dog
you
collar
can't.
ended, I had to go.
Yeah, no, you CM Punk, which is the next match, getting that win over MJF in the dog collar match. Thanks to involvement from Wardlow.
26 minutes 35 seconds.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the longest match of the night, only by about a minute.
Less than a minute for the main event. Yeah.
And I feel like everyone knew going in that this was going to be the longest match of the night. This was going to be a brutal match, a bloody match, and it was, and it delivered. There was a time when I thought MJF was dead. I literally thought he was dead on the apron. He was selling that tombstone really well, not moving.
I think
was like,
immediately after the match, Ringside Collectibles and Jazzware said this will be our next bloody 2-pack for action figures.
Yeah, this match definitely delivered. I love that MJF got confused how to get in and out of the ring during that one spot with the chain. He's like, oh god. You can see him
that was a fun moment. Yeah,
frustrated.
Figuring that out.
Now my question was, did he plan that? Because MJF is a smart guy. Did he plan that, or did he just get confused?
It's quite possible, man. I've seen several heels when they're trying to get like, a laugh in that vein, and it's obviously pre-planned, but it comes off not pre-planned. So yeah, possible. It also might have been his first dog collar. It might have been him really truly fucking up.
It might be his last dog collar. I don't know how many people look.
Yeah, CM Punk teased that on the scrum, saying, yeah, that was the first one since whatever year, and might probably my last.
I don't know many people who have a dog collar match and they're like, oh yeah, let's do it again.
What do you know who CM Punk's first dog collar match was with?
I believe it was Raven.
That's 1 point.
One of the 7 or maybe more I got right in the match over on the Pierce Wrestling channel.
That's the Scrab like ringing the bell.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I'll throw you $1 via Venmo later.
I don't have Venmo. But no, brutal match.
Who have been sending all my money to? Barber at Venmo.com. Not you.
No, was his first name Brutus?
Brutus Barber. Shit. Damn you, Brutus.
But no, like this match was brutal. It was bloody. It was everything I wanted it to be, and the right person won. I could have done without the tax. I don't know how you feel about those. I feel like the tax weren't necessary. Like I was fine with it. Like it was like, oh, okay, cool. But I was like, the match didn't need it. I think I don't.
Especially, you'd argue like they had
especially when you suplex him and like 3 tacks hit his back, and he's like, "Shut up! You've got 3 pokes in you."
Hey, okay. Hey, Jacob. Next time we're on a show, next show that we do here, which is let's say it's March, so let's say June. I would like you to take 3 tacks,
Okay.
stab them in your back, and then let's see what
Okay.
face you make.
No, I understand that it hurts, but he sold it like
I
he
know,
was
yeah.
in the middle of the ring, and
Well,
I'm like,
it's
okay,
it's
that's
similar to was it also Revolution with the Barber Wire Moxley Omega match?
was
It's
that
similar
was
to
that
where at the end of the day, like it's hard to know how many stuck. So like, do you not sell it? Like, no, you sell it. So
the barbed wire? That was yeah, it was Revolution last year. 1 point for you.
yeah.
um, yeah, I remember looking at that, and then I saw a meme of that picture, but then at the bottom it was Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton Jr. Don't let the fire get my best friend. Perfect use of that name. But yeah, no, I thought MJF sold it better when he finally landed in the tax, and oh, his face, priceless. It was fantastic. What do you think of Wardlow? Finally, is this him like finally turning on MJF? Is this
Yeah, I mean, there's no
like
denying that was a fun pop. That definitely had a nice pop in the theater, and I heard a lot of theaters and bars agreed. Nice little thing of like, I don't know, man. And then as soon as oh, this pocket, and then putting it down for Punk. There's no
oh
way he can turn that around. And why would you? Wardlow is that the ring champion. He's gonna get that title match. Good chance that MJF fucks him over in that title match, and then there's your next feud. MJF and Wardlow. Um,
Do you think maybe
so
that's why he finally did it? Is like, all right, well, I have this ring, and now like I'm guaranteed a title match, which I'm going to
maybe.
win, and I'm going to be an AEW superstar now, so I can finally like get. I don't need this
Possibly.
job because I can do this.
Possibly, I thought of it in my opinion, in my mind. I went more to of him just being like he's more confident in himself now. You know what I mean? Like he needed MJF before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess kind of like you're saying this in a different way of like I needed MJF to keep my job before. I have this now. I have proven myself in the last few weeks. And in general, I just don't like MJF. I think he's a little douche, and so is Sean Spears. So I think it's more just him becoming his own man now. But
Yeah.
very similar, yeah.
Do you think we get MJF and Sean Spears against CM Punk and Wardlow at any point? Kind of like we got the first
I
match, because the first match we got with CM Punk and MJF was a tag team match before they actually faced off in a singles
right.
match. Could they go the same route with Wardlow and MJF?
I never thought of it, but 1,012% now. Yeah, why not? I think Wardlow earned CM Punk's respect in their singles match because they did kind of tell the story of like Wardlow would have won if it wasn't for their shenanigans, for MJF shenanigans, and then on top of that, now Wardlow has kind of helped Punk. So yeah, why not? I definitely think it could be that nice turnaround of hey, I respect you now. You know what I mean? And you did the right thing. So yeah, why not? That totally checks out as a possible match. I definitely think we're just touching now as far as match wise what we're gonna do with MJF. I think Spears is definitely someone that also will be in the way of Wardlow. You know, if you're leading to a one-on-one match, it's a good way of doing it. Some tag matches, maybe a singles match with Spears to get to MJF like they've always done before. So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's obviously the next logical step for MJF. I mean, once this whole thing with I'm assuming this thing with Punk is over. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is.
I
The
can see
tag
maybe
match like we were saying, but
taking a break, or maybe they could jump into a third match. I would say maybe give it some time. Let's get away from it a little bit and then get back to it maybe later.
yeah, because I think Wardlow is the next logical step for MJF. I think the next step for CM Punk, maybe the world title. Maybe
I don't know him and Paige though. That's my only thing is unless you're kind of turning Paige, it's a weird match for me.
Yeah, I'm looking at it like where does
he go from here? Yeah,
Punk
for sure.
from here?
I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, it's a good point. I'm kind of looking at like the other matches on here.
Like I would, like I would love to see
Fucking
him do something
Malachi.
with. I would love to see him do something with Danielson, but he's obviously got that thing with Moxley and somebody else.
Shh, we're getting there.
We're getting there. That was my mark out moment, by the way. I loved that guy.
That might have been the biggest squeal for me. Yeah, match of the night I'll probably give the dog collar, but like moment of the night, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know where else CM Punk goes. I mean, he doesn't need to be in the world title picture, but I think it would be
sooner or later. And he's even kind of said, even if it's in kayfabe, he's said like that is a goal. So sooner or later for sure. And we kind of saw a little bit of a more aggressive Hangman last night, so maybe.
Yeah.
And they've done face-to-face matches before, so it's also not like that's out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, and then Hangman's had a lengthy enough reign that if it was by the time they get to Punk Page, if they want to put the title on Punk.
Yeah,
I feel like Page has had a good enough run. I'll tell you this much. I think I think Page is the weakest of the champions so far. Just in my personal opinion.
I don't know. I like to see the chapter close and then make that opinion for me personally. Right. But maybe, right. I mean, I don't think it's bad. The Archer match was good, and the main event's really good too. It was a really good main event, so I don't hate it.
Yeah, I think just the reign in general, like I feel like unless he's fighting on a pay-per-view or in a title match, he's not
prevalent enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas I felt like Jericho and Moxley and even Omega were still wrestling quite a bit while being champion, and Page was just kind of, all right, I'll face you in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Face you in 2 weeks. That's it. Not wrestling tonight. Which I like seeing the champion wrestle, even though more often than not the champion does win.
I do feel you. I think there is a better middle ground. He doesn't need to be main event every week, or even necessarily wrestle every week. But there was I feel like a disconnect of, oh, that's right. Oh, there's our champ again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do see. Yeah.
But I mean, being the weakest of the AEW champions is not necessarily a bad thing because they've had 4 great.
They've had 4, and everyone's done pretty good, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we'll get to him in a few matches. The next one we got was your bathroom break match.
Dr. Britt Baker. DMD, Dr. Britt Baker defeating Thunder Rosa in 17-22, and yes, that is signed, baby. Check my eBay store if you'd like to buy it. I'm selling it.
In the match, I felt had one too many interferences. But other than
that, if I had to pick, gun to head, although I'm not sure who's mad enough to put a gun in my head for wrestling quality matches, I might say this might have been my all right. This is my least favorite match. Gun to head is my least favorite match. I agree. Yeah, one thing I've liked about AEW is that it's a little bit less shenanigans. And this felt like a lot of shenanigans. I don't think it's the best match we've seen these two had either.
Definitely not.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not even like the best. I feel like normal match we've seen these two have. And yeah, I don't know. I was invested because I like Thunder Rosa a lot. Another action figure I look forward to having. A very toyetic person, and a good person from what I've heard as well. So I liked it. I don't know. Maybe just because I assumed Rebecca's going to retain, so it's also kind of one of those like, all right, well, what else, kind of things. But yeah, it's still a good match. Like I said, if this is the least like grabbing match, that's not a bad thing because it's not a bad match at all either. I don't mean to poo on it by any means, but happy with Britt Baker retaining. I think she's great. I know the Scuttlebutt or what did I hear this from? I think I'm stealing this from whatever the Observer, not Observer. I don't remember who I'm stealing from, but the dude that does stuff with Lance Storm sometimes was saying like it does seem like if Thunder Rosa wins Wednesday, the week after that is her hometown. and maybe you know what I mean. So maybe we're gonna get a title change in a couple of weeks. It might be Thunder Rosa, if that's what we're
St.
leading
Patrick's
to.
Day Slam.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day Slam. Which I'm gonna say something here in a second, but first I want to hear your opinion.
Yeah, no, this match was fine. Not a bad match by any means, but yeah, just too much interference. By that third time, we're doing this. Just end the match, please. And then once they announced that it was Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa and the number one contenders, and now that you say the following week is in her hometown,
Yeah,
and you know the series, they 1-1 because Thunder Rosa won the unsanctioned
the big
match.
old bloody.
Britt Baker won, so yeah, I mean they gotta go one more time, and maybe it's Thunder Rosa's turn, Thunder Rosa's time, because by the
It's
time
possible.
we get there, Britt Baker will have held the title for almost 300 days.
Yeah,
So,
which is a decent run, and she's definitely the kind of person too. I could easily see being kind of like a Cody, or as far as in the line of, I could see her even getting it back, whether it's right after Thunder Rosa or you know what I mean. I see her being consistent in AEW for a long time, so I definitely think just because this reign's ending doesn't mean like they're not sour on her. Just hey, let's give her Thunder Rosa, freshen it up, and then I could definitely see her getting it back at some point. And I was gonna say they stole my name, St. Patrick's Day Slam, but actually our event was called St. Patrick's Day Brawl. But I will say this though, Tony. Our web series for RBW, the company I helped book and run, was called Rampage, and then you stole our name, Tony. So if you would like to send me a check, just saying.
I don't think you own the rights to a word.
We ran nearly 60 episodes of Rampage on YouTube now.
Did you trademark it?
Alex Reynolds was on an episode of Rampage.
So
Danhausen might have been on an episode of Rampage for me.
Cool.
Diamante.
What about John Moxley or Bryan Danielson?
You really think I could afford one of those two? No.
No, you know who could? Tony Khan.
In
a singles match at Revolution, which saw John Moxley win by pinfall, and kind of a weird pinfall, which I thought was kind of the right way to go with this. Like,
you don't want like a dominant winner where they're leading. Yeah, 21:05, Moxley up. Good match, another bloody one. And then that ending. Yeah. You go first.
Hard hitting. This was probably my favorite match of the night. Like I go back and forth between this and the Doc Holly. Maybe it's just my Bryan Danielson bias. You know, he's the hometown
CM Punk bias.
He's the hometown favorite. I mean, I grew up 45 minutes away from his hometown, so that's
you're that 45 minutes away from Aberdeen.
From Aberdeen, Washington. Yep, I've been to his high school. I've been there for basketball games.
I've been to his bushes. They are good bushes.
I've helped him save the planet.
I'm outside your window now.
No,
I have a chance of hanging out with him too because who lives here? Like the Bella's mom, who's dating, who's the Bella's mom, and she's married to him. So I don't know. There's someone lives around Fort Myers, like Laurinaitis or Bella's mom or something like that.
Laurinaitis, who's married to the Bella's mom, who's married to Bryan Danielson.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's a chance one day.
Who's friends with my cousin's roommate.
Because even I would hear rumors of like John Cena's at the Cheesecake Factory when he was dating one of the Bellas.
We don't have one of those close to me.
I don't anymore.
I don't know how good it is.
It's not bad. I've only had like once or twice. I think they're supposed to have like a big menu, isn't there? Like claim to fame.
It's like a novel.
Yeah. And if you want to catch me eating Wednesday, I'll be at Rib City, 5 minutes from the AEW show. If anyone wants to come to Rib City.
Are you gonna eat ribs?
No, probably chicken tenders.
Jordan Chicken Tender Owens.
I love me some chicken tenders, and I don't know if I've had theirs. If I have, it's been a long time. I went on the website to make sure they had some. I was like, it's on the menu.
Yeah, it wasn't on the menu. all the blood that John Moxley shed. He
I
was
just would,
bloody.
yeah. They were not afraid of having some bloody matches tonight, which if the wrestler's willing, I like it sometimes in my pro wrestling. I like that it's at least possible.
Yeah, if it fits the story, like if there's a purpose, if there's a reason for it,
Yeah, and then the 2 matches that happened tonight, it fit.
Yeah, don't just be Ric Flair and 2 minutes into the match get hit with a punch to the head and all of a sudden your face is red.
I had a Ric Flair T-shirt and I spilled like mustard on it, and I went to clean it and I dabbed it, and the shirt started bleeding. Like, damn it, Rick! All I did was dab your T-shirt forehead. Yeah.
Anyway, what are your thoughts on the match itself?
No, dude, it's a good match. I could see why it being a match of the night to you. I like the story they told in Puck and MJF. I felt like it really built, but this is another great one, man. It even surpassed my expectations. Not that I should have had anywhere near low expectations for these two, but like it surpassed it. I feel like they gave us a match we probably wouldn't have gotten in the WWE. Not but like there's that. And I'll take a shot of High C Orange Lava Burst.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That used to be my favorite thing to get at McDonald's.
Is that McDonald's? Oh, this is at McDonald's. Yeah, that's that weird High C. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I never used to get it at McDonald's. I get it now because I'm lazy and sometimes I take my breakfast in the other room. So, I don't want to, I just get a bunch of
that makes sense.
This has been out since noon. I don't know if I should be drinking it.
And you're still. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No. They beat each other up. And even after the match, they continued beating each other up. And they wouldn't stop. They beat up security. And only one person could stop them. Who was that one person? Ooh. Mr. William Regal.
Or as Tony Khan kept saying on the scrum, Lord Regal.
Lord Regal. Yeah. I thought it'd been funny if they called him Steven. What's Steven Regal doing here?
I was actually they did say William, right? They say William, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say, like, do they own? Isn't Steven his real name, or is William his real name?
I believe.
So I'm just saying, like, it's not out of the realm of it of William being trademarked, but obviously it's fine if that's what they said.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, man, a big surprise released by WWE like a month or whatever back. A guy that's been with them since the year 99, if not 2000. I know there's that weird gap where he was there, then left, then they came back. But seemed like a lifer, I thought, man. Like, a dude that got his shit together as far as alcoholism, and seemed like a guy backstage, not only well liked, but had seemed like a good track record of helping people backstage, and just WWE revamping their stuff, kind of getting rid of the old guard, if you will, to a degree, which sucks because super talented. So any company's lucky to have him, and he was somebody that Tony said straight up on the scrum, like, I was surprised that they let him go, and I was so happy and willing to work with him. It was willing to come. So yeah, he had butted first was it he had butted Moxley, I think, and got some of the blood on him, which was cool, and adds another layer to this, man. I'm down, even if that's I'm guessing. Oh boy, I just got myself more excited for Wednesday if we're gonna get maybe some Regal promo or the next layer of this Danielson and Moxley partnership, man. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I mean, they finally bled together, so are we going to get that team up? Is William Regal going to be kind of the mediator between them? And anytime they start going,
I know
rails,
maybe
he just slaps them.
Maybe I'm greedy here, but we got one more DDP match. We got Tully Blanchard in a match. 6-man tag. Put Regal in there. if he's able to and willing, and maybe that's just the greedy part in me. I want to see one more match. But no, I'm excited to have him on the TV. I'm sure they're excited to have him there. Yeah. It'll just lead to, I think, a better product, So
there we go. Regal's the last match. Regal, Danielson, Moxley against Punk, Darby Allin, and Sting.
No, I don't like it.
You don't want to see Sting? You don't want to see Sting jump off of a off of a balcony onto William Regal on 4
No,
tables?
I don't. No, I don't want to see that.
Well, who would you who in there is safe enough to work with William Regal?
MJF, FTR, done.
Just no. MJF is gonna no. I don't want to. I don't want to see MJF and William Regal.
Yes, you do.
No, I really don't.
Yes, you do.
No, because I feel like that
Yes,
would just happen way too far down the line, and I want to see William Regal in the ring now. William Regal needs to have his match now. MJF is busy with Wardlow. That's why it shouldn't happen. But then so is Punk, so my suggestion doesn't make any sense either.
Oh, you just have a bunch of faces fighting. That's why I was like, what? Give me somebody that like you want to see get their ass kicked.
I just want a good match. I mean, let's be honest. At that point, you're just happy to see William Regal back in a ring.
Yes. Okay. In that case, 2.0 and Daniel Garcia.
Yeah. I mean, it could honestly be any heel tag team with Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky,
No.
Ethan Page.
No, 2/3, yes. 2/3, and then give them.
You're right. Leave Ethan Page out of there. You're right.
No, screw you. I love Ethan Page. He's my favorite. He's somebody oh man. No, I like Ethan Page a lot.
Yeah, maybe he and Josh Alexander can reunite when he leaves Impact.
It's not gonna be. He just signed like a multi-year contract, so it's not happening, buddy.
So, releases happen. You never thought you'd see William Regal in AEW, and yet here he is.
That's not different compared.
It's the same thing.
No.
But no, I'm very excited to see where this is going because I've loved William Regal for like years. He's played such an important role in Daniel Bryan too. I'm pretty sure he trained him, helped train him. Him and Michael Hickenbottom.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe he did. Maybe he was just okay. So he was trained by Shawn Michaels. Maybe he just had played a big role in when he got to WWE. Anyway, is that Roderick Strong?
No, it's me.
Anyway, the next match. Oh, there you are.
Tornado tag match. We got Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara defeating Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo, another guy who you could say could be up for like a TNT title run, and Isaiah Swerve Cassidy. No, I'm just kidding. Isaiah Cassidy, 13-22.
With Jose the assistant.
Yeah, Jose getting the crap kicked out of him for a little bit there too. Yeah. The match I thought it would be, man. Sting seems to like these kind of crazier matches, which he said on the scrum as well. Things where you kind of think outside the box. And holy crap, did not see when they were setting up those tables. I even like thought to myself, like, oh, cool, Guevara Derby's definitely going to take this and not Sting. And no, it was Sting jumping off the ledge in the balcony, going through multiple tables there. And again, like I said, he was the first person on that scrum, so he's doing all right. He's good. Fun match, chaotic match. They seem to like doing these on the pay-per-view as well. There's always like we've seen the crazy stadium stampedes and the Sting cinematic match against Cage and Starks and whatnot. So fun, chaotic, people just fighting all over the place kind of match.
Yeah, it's weird that they put the match in this slot though, because this did have some high spots, and I thought maybe they'd want to like cool the crowd down before the main event. So maybe like I would have switched this with the women's championship match, because while that's a great match, it wasn't really full of high spots and things that made you go oh and get all hyped up. It was just
here's the thing. I see what you're saying, but at the same time, this was such a stacked card. You move that women's match, then you have either the ladder and then a dog collar, or if you move the other match, then you have bloody and a bloody match. So you kind of had to like do it this way to a degree. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what? Hold on.
if you move the TBS women's title
No, not that one.
Well, I was just saying, if it was, then you have ladder than dog collar. If you move the Britt Baker match, then you have bloody dog collar, bloody Moxley Danielson.
No, I was saying switch them. So put this match in that place, and then put the women's match here. So it would go in. It would have went dog collar, tornado, then Mox, and Danielson, and then you have the cooldown to get them ready for the main event.
So you're saying Mox Danielson Women's World?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I have no argument.
Wait, I mean, Sting just jumped through 4 tables, and now, all right, let's get ready for the world title match. No, let's replay that and look at it again, and give Sting his credit. He's a 62-year-old man who's had neck issues, who's jumping off of a balcony. Winning basically.
He's got kids.
Winning what was basically a 6-on-3 match.
Oh, yeah, because you also had Mark Quinn.
Oh, 7-on-3, because Butcher and the Blade came out, and Jose the assistant.
Yeah,
so it's basically 7-on-3, and then, of course, Sting, Darby Allin. I mean, yeah, they don't lose very much.
The big rumor. No, it wouldn't make sense. That way, when they do, it's kind of meaningful. The big rumor for Wednesday, not only will I debut, but the other big rumor is Jeff Hardy. Do you think we're going to see the charismatic enigma become all elite in general at all, or especially on Wednesday? Also, by the way, I'm watching a commercial of KFC chicken tenders. Their basket is one of the worst out there. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, I had KFC
not KFC. I meant to say Dairy Queen, but yeah, KFC. Their fries are horrible.
I don't know. My Dairy Queen's okay. Maybe your Dairy Queen just sucks.
I've never had good Dairy Queen. Ice cream, yes.
I mean, I don't mind them. But yeah, you're Jeff Hardy. I mean, why not? Where else is he gonna go if he wants to continue to wrestle? I mean, he could go back to Impact, but if he wants to, work with his brother one last time, because let's be honest, they're not getting any younger.
Me and Dutch joked when the match first began, it was Matt Hardy and Sting fighting, and we're like, that makes sense. The two kind of not broken down, but the two guys are a little older, have their injuries, I don't be careful with my back, brother. All right, you be careful with my knees. All right, well, make sure you don't hurt their shoulder. Good, because don't fuck with this elbow. They both have been so much.
Don't worry, I won't buckle bomb you.
Yeah. But I mean, they have said they want to end their careers together. And also too, as much as you could argue, don't sign all the WWE guys, they do too much. Jeff is such a big name. He's a former world champion who can still go. He's got, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's a year, 3 years left, as far as really like a Jericho, like a top level caliber match, but he's still got some left in him. So I feel like as a business standpoint, it definitely makes sense to do it. You know what I mean? Like, why would you not grasp on, hey, a free talent world title guy that will get you views, man? Like, Hardy's got a fan base. Like, it will get some eyes on you that weren't on you before.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he would debut this week. I mean, we just had Regal and Swerve, but I could definitely see him coming soon.
Don't take this away from me, Jacob.
I could definitely see him coming soon. But yeah, I'll be honest. I haven't paid much attention to anything the Andrade Hardy family office have been doing.
It's been a lackluster whatever group.
It's not a pairing I thought I wanted to see, and judging from the match last night, it's not a pairing I cared to continue to see. I think Andrade is better than being in a group like this. I think Andrade should be by himself, just going after. Let him go after the TNT title first. Let him go after the world title. I never thought he was going to be an NXT champion, and he was, and I thought he had a very nice reign. I think he could be. I don't know if he's AEW World Champion, status yet, but he can definitely get there.
I think he's definitely. I don't know if he's given to him yet, but like for instance, if the next Hangman feud was with him, I'd be cool with it. It'd be a good match.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he could definitely compete for it, but like it's a little like go from the Andrade Hardy family office to world champion. It's quite the jump. Bring back Chavo. Man,
It's funny too because supposedly Chavo's a little upset because I guess he was doing stuff with Heels, the TV show or something, where he thought he was going to be back.
He was the wrestling consultant for the Young Rock
TV show. Rock, thank you. I knew it was a TV show, and I guess he thought that he was under the. They had talked in the impression of, all right, when you're free, you'll be back. And then I guess he saw that he was taking off the roster page, and he's like, "Well, that's news to me if I'm no longer there."
Yeah, I saw somebody make the joke. It was like, "Oh, Tony Khan let Chavo Guerrero go, and all of a sudden he can buy Ring of Honor. How much was he paying Chavo?"
Damn, a little overpaid.
That's why he had to let you go, Chavo.
He can buy Ring of Honor. Let's talk about that real quick, man. I don't know if you're a Ring of Honor guy like me, but I love Ring of Honor. It saved my love for pro wrestling, so I am so happy that it will keep going. He was very vague on the scrum. Tony Khan is exactly what's going on, which I believe though because he was kind of honest about it's still the preliminary stages as far as all the ins and outs of what exactly going to go on. But it does definitely sound like it's going to continue to be a brand. It's not just going to be hey, great, we got the videos and maybe we'll put them on our website sometime or a streamer. It definitely sounds like it's going to be a running company, which is good. More jobs for the men and women out there. They do have their big Mania show. Swerve is signed against Alex Zane. Briscoes have an open challenge. A lot of people, including myself, think that's going to be the FDR match that they teased back in December. That would make sense. And then Gresham versus Bandito, and they're still figuring out more. They're even opening up the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see it still going. Hopefully their TV show keeps going too, because I actually do have their TV show and I watch it when it's not a rerun, which it's been for a while now. I'm just happy to see it's still going, man. Ring of Honor has put in so many great moments and memories. It's why I became a huge CM Punk fan. Added in my respect for AJ Styles, Jay Lethal, Nigel McGuinness, Samoa Joe. Go on and on for days. Yeah, I just want to shout out Ring of Honor. I don't know if you have anything to say.
No, I'm not as big of a fan as you are, but I've watched some, and yeah, no, it's quality, definitely quality. I think this definitely gives some of those guys, because AEW has signed a lot of talent. Maybe it gives, since Tony Khan does own both companies, maybe it gives some of those guys something to do now.
I think I've seen it be a place of hey, we don't have much for Private Party right now, Brian Cage right now, and letting them go and do some stuff in Ring of Honor. Having it as kind of not necessarily developmental, although kind of I would imagine maybe as a developmental as well. But you also got to have bigger names and drawing the fans and whatnot. So, yeah, I think I do agree that it might be a good spot for all right, we want to do more Daniel Garcia, but I don't have anything great for him right now. Maybe Daniel Garcia would be a great, Ring of Honor TV champ. If they wanted to kind of test the waters there.
Yeah. Maybe Red Dragon challenges for, the tag titles.
Again.
Or, something like that. The Young Bucks.
Yeah, and you could definitely have one-off appearances. Who do they ask about that? Adam Page, even the world champion. That they said would you ever do a Ring of Honor match? And he's like, yeah.
Now, I don't know who Ring of Honor's world champion is at the moment.
It's weird. So they did the whole so the gimmick is it was supposed to be Bandito defending against Jonathan Gresham in that final battle. Bandito legitimately couldn't make it. I think COVID, if not an injury. Gresham won, but now they're doing the gimmick of, well, Bandito never lost the title, so we're going to settle it at the Mania show.
Okay. So anyway, I could see maybe, them holding an open challenge or whatever, and we're gonna surprise the fans, and guess who's gonna answer it? Jay Lethal, and they just have a banger of a match.
I was actually, it's funny thinking of, speaking of Jay Lethal, I wonder if so Jay Lethal has said before, and I actually knew this from knowing him a little bit, like he was gonna be loyal to Ring of Honor. You know what I mean? Like he had heard like, maybe NXT wants you, maybe AEW might want you. AEW definitely did want him. But he's gonna stay loyal to Ring of Honor because they showed him loyalty, so he's gonna show it back. I wonder if right now if Jay Lethal's like, oh, I could have just stayed. Or if he'll go back now, like maybe Tony Khan will be like, listen, thanks for coming, but I got nothing for you. Go back to Ring of Honor. Like that is kind of funny. Like
Yeah, or maybe, and maybe this is why. Maybe this is why Cody's not signed to AEW right now.
I know people have rumored that. I don't know if that makes total sense, but maybe.
Maybe he's
this
just gonna
this
be.
could entice him. Like maybe he was gonna legit leave AEW, and now like the WWE stuff fell apart, and maybe Tony's like, "Hey, let's do some fun stuff in Ring of Honor." I don't know.
Maybe this is just to get fans excited when he does come back, because the fans were getting a little sour on him.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe Adam Cole shows back up once he finally wins. Baby. Once he finally wins the AEW World Championship, because he failed to do so last night.
What?
Being defeated by Adam Page in a very fantastic match, which lasted nearly 26 minutes, clocking in at 25:45, according to Wikipedia.
25:42, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
my times were my personal own times, by the way.
Mine is I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, which yours might be more accurate because every single one of these ends in a 0 or a 5.
I also too was like, oh shit, the bell ring, or like, oh shit, the bell ring. Like I definitely am probably off sometimes. 42-45. I'm just glad I'm in the ballpark.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to believe yours though, because like I just said, every single one of these is in a 0 or a 5.
Ah, they run it up. Okay. I'll do that sometimes too if I feel like I'm running on the edge, but I'll run up to like a 2 or a 5, not always a 0 or a 5. All right, cool. Well, now that we're done with that nerdy discussion.
Nerds.
It's 25:43, not 44. Fuck you. Yeah, dude, fun main event. I actually was wondering going into it, like from both a crowd perspective, both in the arena and the movie theater I was at, and just from a quality perspective of like, I don't know if they're going to be able to live up to the hype that's been set on the show already, but they did a damn good job, man. Like this felt like a world title match. Good near falls, good chemistry. Like I said, I was just happy in general to see Cole in a high profile spot. Mm-hmm. Page adding to his legacy a little bit more as a world champion with a quality win like this. Like it's good stuff, man. It's another reason that this adds to definitely consideration for show of the year. We'll see if anything else can kind of match up, but as far as just quality wise and even booking wise to a large degree, it's better than anything. Now that we're comparing it, I had to do it one more time. But the WWE so far, it's definitely a show of the year for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's funny though. This is probably like my fourth most anticipated match on the card, which is not a slight at either of these guys. It's just that's how stacked the card is. You got the dog collar, you got Moxley and Danielson. Chris Jericho is like my favorite wrestler of all time. So, and Eddie Kingston is slowly creeping up there. And for today, as far as today's stars go, so like all those matches were. I was more excited, and even the 6-man tag match from the buy-in, like all 6 of those guys, like I was hyped for that.
Yeah.
So, like I didn't have high expectations for this match, just based off what the rest of the card looked like, but I also didn't have low expectations. My expectations were like, all right, well they're gonna try to follow a very solid card featuring 2, maybe more match of the year candidates, and they're going to do an okay job. And they ended up having my I go back and forth on which is like my second favorite. I go between this and the dog collar because I did like the dog collar, although I didn't say it when we were talking about it, but I felt like maybe it went on just a little too long. But um, like even though this one was nearly just as long, it felt maybe it was just the pacing of it with these two, um, and then the involvement of Red Dragon and the Dark Order. I thought it was the right level of outside interference. I think it was just the perfect amount. It wasn't too much. They didn't like physically get involved with either competitor, so like we had in Thunder Rose and Britt Baker for the fourth time.
Yeah, I feel
So
you on that. I feel you.
Yeah, just the right level of outside involvement. Just shows that all they had to do was show up, and it threw Hangman off a little bit. And I honestly thought they were going to put the title on Cole. Like
Oh,
their
I
false
definitely thought,
finishes, like they got me, and I was kind of hoping for it too. Like I've been such a huge fan of Cole's ever since he debuted in NXT. Because like I said, I didn't like if it wasn't mainstream WWE or TNA. Um, I didn't know much. So I've heard the name Adam Cole, and once he debuted, I was like, okay, cool. And then as he performed more on NXT, I was like, okay, this guy's really good. He's
this
really
guy
good.
is not too shabby.
um, so yeah, no, solid match, solid closer, solid main event. I really liked the handshake at the end. Um, and I liked that there was no surprise debut at the end. They just let Adam Page have his moment. Like Adam Page
Yeah, for
won.
a
He's gonna.
second, I always do question AEW, especially because I'm like, they're still on him. It's been a minute. Are we about to go pitch black? And
All right, Gargano, come out.
yeah,
No,
I'm still wondering what's up with Gargano. I don't know if he's just simply having fun being home because he was announced for WrestleCon, which makes me feel like he truly is a free agent. So I don't
well,
know.
Candice LeRae is pregnant, right? So maybe that's
No, they had it, I
right.
believe, at this point.
Okay, so maybe just waiting a little bit before he
Yeah,
comes
like I
back
said, it
full
might just be
time.
as simple as yeah, one more time, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, solid main event, solid show, top to bottom. Definitely worth the money I paid for it. So,
Me too, all $22.
well, I haven't actually paid for it yet because it hasn't shown up on my Xfinity account, but it will be paid for it eventually. Or will it?
The GCW pay per view showed up on my last statement. I don't know if that was worth it.
Mm. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd order any other company's pay-per-views.
Oh, it
Like this
depends.
one had me really hyped.
I wanted to support GCW. You know what I mean? They're the first indie show on national pay per view since what, Ring of Honor.
Mhm.
So and it was $25. So I'm always about supporting some good wrestling if it's not too expensive.
Yeah. And speaking of good wrestling, this is where you plug your shows.
Oh yes, Real Pro Wrestling. So we are literally less than a week away. March 12th, we'll be at the Crown Plaza in Fort Myers, Florida. You can see many great wrestlers on it. We got a heavyweight title match. We got the tag titles online, and our women's champion Kelsey Reagan recently made her AEW debut. Speaking of AEW, she fought somebody recently. I'm forgetting right now, but
Somebody.
I believe she's in the house Wednesday, so she might actually be making her third appearance this week. But we'll see. But yeah, we got a great night of action lined up. March 19th, we're in Ave Maria, and then at the end of May, our show at the end of May will be featuring the debut of Cody Deaner from Impact Wrestling. So we're looking forward to that, and I'm always there, so that's more than enough.
Nice. All right. Well, You were wondering if we could make it an hour talking about AEW, and we've almost made it 2.
I did say 1 hour for one show. That's going to be I don't know if we're going to go that long. And yeah, we're at an hour 45. So might be.
And we still haven't even talked about the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So real quick, the women's finish was okay. The men's finish was really shitty. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. I don't hate that it's Brock and Roman at WrestleMania, but Brock
could have gone there in better
to...
ways without unnecessarily putting Brock in another Rumble win. There's different ways of getting to there.
Yeah. But anyway, it happened. Now we're getting Brock and Roman title unification.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too mad at it.
But apparently, from what I heard and what I've read, is that they're still going to have 2 champions. So I wonder if they unify this and it's just the WWE title, and then they bring back, the big gold belt. That's my hope. Is that big gold belt comes back and they get rid of the Universal title.
Oh, you know what? See, I don't know. I'm all about I would like the title would be nice because I do think I don't like the fact that their 2 titles look the same. That has always bothered me. It's very formulaic. Even their women's title, like I don't know why they decided let's just go with giant ass W's. We're done. Different colors. I think it sucks that they all look formulaic. I'm a fan of not killing your legacy though. Like you've already built up the Universal enough the last few years. Do we really want to kill it again? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know.
I wish I knew. I don't know.
But
hey, I believe
one of them has to go away.
We're gonna host WrestleMania at Wheels' house, your WWC opponent. So if you want to come on over to Cape Coral, Florida, you're more than welcome, Jacob.
My WWT opponent, who we haven't been trying at all actually to play on this match. I've just known about it for almost a month.
We'll get it done sooner or later.
But yeah, that's going to happen, WrestleMania. Maybe we'll talk about the build to that on our next show. Maybe we won't. Who knows? We don't. But our next show will be next Thursday. We will, yes, after today, we will be going every Thursday. So check us out here, the Movie Hero Network. Maybe when we're on, we'll call it the Wrestling Hero. We'll call it the Chris Hero Network.
Who's your hero? Chris Hero. Oh, you mean this guy right here? Also,
no. So yeah, we'll be talking wrestling every Thursday. In between all the other shows we have on the channel. I have a podcast about movies with Austin Howell every Saturday. This Saturday we are going to be, unless I sometime this week can see the Batman, then we will be talking Batman. Unless
I've seen it, it's good. Go see it.
That's what I hear. If I can't see it, we will be ranking each other's top 10 favorite movies. So he will be ranking mine from 1 to 10, and I will be ranking his from 1 to 10. And I just thought that sounded like a fun idea. And since we do what we want, we're doing that.
Screw you guys, I do what I want.
We also got tier ranker fights, tournament fights tomorrow night, comedy championship.
I'll see you there, Jacob. Yeah, I'll see you there.
I am a fill-in as per usual because somebody drops out, and either myself, Malcolm Lay, or Richie Goodacre will step in.
To Friday's tier rank. You're not on that, are you? The Action Heroes?
I am not on that one, but yes,
I'm
Friday Action Heroes.
The guy that runs the Villain Cantina is on it.
Oh, and he knows Kevin Smith.
And that just means I'm that much closer to being best friends with Kevin
Smith. Meeting Kevin Smith.
Oh, why you gotta ruin my dreams?
Anyways, check us out. Check Jordan out. Everything he's doing. Pierce Wrestling.
$15, little man. Put that shit in my hand.
I sing songs that I don't know. But But yeah, Pierce Wrestling. He's doing. He's currently in the middle of the King of WWT 2022. I will be facing Wheels. Hopefully, not busting any brackets like last year. When I was picked to go to the finals for some reason.
Them brackets.
Yeah, so check me out over there. He's got a show about shows that he does. Check that out. Check out a show about trivia. Either regular edition or picks and list edition. They're both fun.
We'll be going live tomorrow for picks and lists. Jacob, are you in that?
I am not in that. When are you going live for that tomorrow?
7?
Oh, okay, so before. Okay.
Yeah, 7 and here at 9.
Yeah. We are 3 hours apart, so when he is doing picks and lists at 7, I am usually still at work.
Well, hit me up, man. I'll put you in. You can be my co-host.
I'll just while I'm watching kids.
No, I mean when you get home, you son of a bitch.
You'll be done by then. I will be home right before we go live for Tier Ranker.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
Yeah. Unless I get off early, like I did today. I was lucky enough to get off work early, and it's always a fun time. I went and bought bananas at the store.
Fun fact: if you ever buy bananas, evidently, don't put them in a lock and lock, a big lock box, and then forget about it because it will smell and it will attract like gnats, and you'll have to throw away that lock box.
Yeah. So what are you doing after the stream?
Not that it happened to me. This particular stream right here, right now.
You gonna go throw away a lockbox?
Oh no, that happened a while ago.
It looked like you were looking right at it.
I was looking where it used to be. I don't know why.
Anyways, we're just rambling now.
My favorite part of the show.
So yeah, check us out. Not like us, but
don't forget to chickadee check yourself before you rickety wreck yourselves.